Hello guys, thought I'd come to you today. This is another little different, a little something different time, and thought I would show you around here at my grandmother's place just a little bit, just share a few quick memories with you, and try to show you some things. I don't know how well it's showing up in my background, but her wisteria vine is here that she harvested, her and my grandfather, years ago when I was just a boy. I remember it being here and it was little then, but they have pruned it over the years, cut it back, and so we'll walk down there in a second and look at it. But just show you a few spots around here, maybe share a memory or two, and just thought this would be something different for you this week. So let's walk around for a few minutes. All right, this is her wisteria vine. If I remember her telling me correctly, she got this from over at her mother's and dad's place where she grew up. They dug it up and brought it over here. And that's a camellia bush. It was in full bloom here not late. It looked just like a Christmas tree. And just over there are her persimmon trees. And she does manage to get a few persimmons off, every fall. And then there's pecan tree, dogwood trees. My grandfather set those out. And then you can see her azalea bushes. This little spot right here, I remember before that pecan tree became so big, they used to have a little garden right here. He would grow tomato plants right here. That dirt is just real dark brown color from my memory on it. And this is a little shirt button bush, I think is what it's called. It's been here as long as I can remember. And I know down in this little spot right here, she used to have catnip that came up, but I think they've about killed it out. I don't see any of it nowhere right now. I don't think that's any there. No. But there's a gardenia bush, and my mother was sharing a memory. Yeah, this rock right over here. She said that they used to have a little sand pile when she was growing up, and that rock right there, she said that would be their house, and they would make little paths into it and decorate it, kind of make it look like a little house. And so thought I would share that. She was sharing that memory with me the other day. And there's the pump house, and I have a memory right here. I remember there used to be, before this was built, used to be just a little smaller frame like that, but it had, I remember there was some blackberry briars that grew up close to it. We would come down here, us youngins would eat the blackberries. And I remember that. That's a fond memory that I have. And then she has her hydrangeas bushes over there, wisteria vine. And there used to be a big fig tree right there, but I think she had it cut down. There's her last apple tree. There used to be grapevines out here as well, and I think they became diseased or whatever, and they got rid of them. But a lot of memories around here. And this little spot right here in this little vicinity, I remember right here when I was real young, the oil drum set out here. I remember they tore that down, moved the oil drum up closer to the house, I think because it was leaking or something. And my grandmother had a rose garden right there, and I remember she had a blue rose that was out here. And she had several different roses, but I guess over the years they diseased and died. There's her forsythia, yellow bell bush. And then these right here, we call these sweet bubby bushes. You can take the blooms and crush them. They smell just like a fresh cut apple. So I would love to have me a sprout of that sometime or another. And a lot of memories here, folks. A lot of memories. And this little spot right here, I remember there used to be a light pole that was right in there somewhere. And we had a sandbox right in this general area right in here. But you move on up here, we used to have metal yard chairs, the old type metal yard chairs. We had a like a glider couch type thing that it set right over there, and it seemed like they got another one that set over here, and we had some of the others with a spring feed on them, and then your regular old yard chairs. But this is where we would sit right here on Sunday afternoon, and everybody would congregate right here after lunch, and a lot of memories shared right here. Us youngins would be down. There wasn't no grass there then, it was just bare dirt. And we would spend our hours out here. And I remember she had a picnic table, and sometimes it would be over there. That tree is huge too, by the way. That's a water oak, what we call a water oak. But we would most time cut a watermelon over there. We had a picnic table. And then I have another memory, that tree right up there. There used to be one of the lower limbs, it's gone now, but there used to be a swing that hung in that tree. And I remember sitting many Sunday afternoons in that out there too. And my grandmother, I remember making homemade ice cream. I'll catch that vehicle. But I remember making homemade ice cream out there one evening, late one Sunday evening, and as we was doing it, we could hear thunder off in the distance. It's just fond memories, guys. I don't know, I probably won't be able to do this much longer, so that's why I'm doing it. But I wanted to show you this view here too. I don't know how well it's going to show up, but my great-grandfather at one time owned a good chunk of that land back over in there. And my grandmother's, I've heard her tell of when she was young, working tobacco back up in those, this growed up now, but they were fields back up in there. And she's told about growing, helping working tobacco up there. And another thing I remember her telling was about her mother. Whenever, let me swing around here. Whenever they were curing the tobacco, they had it hung in the smokehouse, the tobacco barn, that she, somebody had to be there to look after the fire. And while she was there, she didn't waste that time just sitting there watching wood burn. She took the time she'd take a bushel basket of tomatoes and sit there and peel them, pack them in jars, and set the jars up on the furnace and cook them right there in the jar. There wasn't a water bath. It was just, I think she just set the jars on the flue or something. I forget how she said she done it, but said it worked. And she did that to save time, be putting her time to use. We've got a generation now, guys, I hope that wind's not a problem, but don't have no grit no more. People just, I don't know. They want to live a life of luxury now. Nobody wants to go back to the old ways anymore. It's almost a thing of the past. And it's sad, because that's where some of my greatest memories are. And so, but that's where I'm happy at. And I remember this little spot right here. I remember my grandfather, this was a little garden right here, all this area. I remember them growing potatoes, cabbage, tomatoes. I mean, they grew a lot of stuff. But years ago, When my mother was small, there was a chicken house actually set here. I think it's been torn down, and I don't remember, that was before my time. But kind of doing this just for my record keeping. And that's a little shed they had wood in. Used it for a wood shed primarily. I think my grandfather may have kept some of his equipment, his lawnmower, what have you, in there. And so it's just sad to see the place dying. Pretty much that's what's happening, because once my grandmother's gone, it'll never be the same no more. And that's the way it is. But this field right here is growed up now. But I remember, it hadn't been that many years ago, I remember plowing this field, and they tended it, grew corn, beans, cucumbers, squash, tomatoes, you name it. And they had a great garden down here. And it's just sad to see it in the condition that it's in now. But it is what it is, so nothing you can really do about it. So guys, I'm gonna get off of here today, and hope you've had a great Easter, and hope you spend a little time thanking the Lord for sending his son to die on that old rugged cross and raising again the third day. And I hope you put a little thought into that the past few days. I know I have. And I know I can tell you that God's good, and He gets you out of the sun, because that's probably not showing up too well. But I can tell you that the Lord's great, and the Lord's mighty, and He's still on His throne, and He has not forsook His children. And so I take great consolation in that. So guys, I'm going to get off here today, and we're going to go in, got some other things I've got to look after, and Lord willing, we'll talk to you the next time. So thank you guys from Little NC Farmer.